Hi, I'm Elliot from Claris. I'm going to show you our order volume replenishment functionality. Rather than waiting for your pick face to run low, it works proactively based on the volume of picks that have just been processed. Once the picks have been processed, your replenishment task will be generated to match the demand that is needed to fulfill them pick tasks. So let's dive into it. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do and set up for our pick faces are locations. We'll go to the locations screen and we will then go ahead and create a new location, and we can add a code in here and a description. And we have to add the warehouse that we want this to be for, and then we can choose what type of location this is. So this is going to be a racking location, and then what we can do just to turn it on to be a pick face location is go over to the options, and we'll see quite a few flags. And as you can see, one of them is pick face. That needs to be toggled on along with allow picking, because obviously we want to be able to pick from that pick face, and then we'll be able to click save, and then our location for a pick face has been set up at that point in time. So after we've got our location set up, that's when we need to look at our account setup. So as you can see, I'm in an account already, and we need to scroll down to our picking rules. So here you can look at the pick types, the default pick type that you'd like, pick rotation, or pick optimization. But the main and the important one from a pick face perspective is your pick rule. So this is basically how we replenish stock into your pick face and how you pick that stock as well. So we can set this to be first in, first out. So FIFO, best before date, sell by date, last in, first out. And what these mean is if I had this set to be sell by date as an example, when I come to replenish pick face, it will replenish the earliest sell by date stock, and then you would pick that earliest sell by date stock. So you're picking the earliest sell by date at this point in time. And what we're going to do is set up FIFO rules for this example. So it's looking at the stock that came in first, that will be replenished first into a pick face, and then it'll be picked from that pick face as well. And then after that, we come to the product. So we look at the different products that we want to actually set these pick faces up for. I've got a couple of products set already. And as you can see, I've added the information about that product. I'm going to scroll down and we will get to pick faces. At this point, this is where we can see what pick faces we have set up, or this is where we come and add our pick faces as well. So what we can do here is add a line. We then select the pick face that we have created and what we would like to add, and from there we can choose the replenishment type that we want to use for that pick face. So in this demonstration, we're going to be using order volume. I can then add a maximum trigger, which means the amount of stock that we're going to replenish into that pick face, and then we can decide whether that's going to be full storage units only, meaning I only want to replenish full storage units into this pick face, or if we have that set to no, what that would mean is we can break up pallets to fit the exact max trigger, which is 20 at this point. So if you do have full storage units turned on, and let's say your pallets are 25, this would just mean that we will always replenish a full pallet, but it could go over the max trigger just by that amount. This also has a little bit of information around the location, whether it's active or not. Obviously, our locations do need to be active in order to utilize them. And then I can go ahead and click save. The functionality that we have with order volume replenishment is, as you can see there, you can only set one pick face at a time for order volume replenishment. So at this moment in time, I have got one already, and we will just use that one as this demo. The last bit just to mention on the pick faces and setting up the pick face at this point, we have the ability to set up location groups, which allows us to actually choose a group of locations that you'd like to set up as pick faces as well. So when looking at the other replenishment types, that will become available and you'll be able to use that functionality. The very last thing before going into a demonstration of how order volume replenishment works, we are going to come to flags here. And what I've also done is turned on the enforced picking of this product from pick face. And what this does is it makes sure every single pick will always go to the pick for this product. The reason that's important is because if that was turned off, and as you can see, had a full pallet pick, that would usually go to racking. So it would bypass the pick face. You would go and pick a full pallet from racking because usually it's a lot easier. However, with volume replenishment, we're looking at fast moving stock, high demand stock, and we want everything to go to the pick face. So that's the example that I will be using today. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Okay, so that's everything set up on the product, the accounts and the location. And now we're going to look at the example that we've got here. So I've set up my stock. This is the product that I am using. So test volume, pick face product 1. And you can see the account that I've set these for. We can also see the quantity and the different pallets that these are on as well. So I've got basically 5 pallets of 20. And as you can stock in the warehouse at the moment. I've also added 20 already in a pick face because what I want to show is how order volume actually works in the system, where it's looking at the demand of the picks that have been processed and looking at the amount of replenishments that we need in order to fulfill that quantity. So you can see here that I've already got 20 in the pick face that is ready to be picked. So firstly, it works like any other pick face. I can have a sales order, process it for, let's say, a quantity of 5, and that will then deplete by 5 once it's been picked. I've also got an example here which is more tailored towards the order volume functionality, where I have a large order that has come in, and you can see this is for the account that the stock is associated with, and I have done it for the product that I have got stock of. So you can see I've got available stock in the warehouse is 100, and I want a quantity of 65. So 20 is already in the pick face, and I then need another 45 to be able to be picked from the pick face, because remember, all picks are going to be enforced via the pick face. So once I save and process picks here, and which I'll do right now, that will process the sales order. As you can see, that's now been processed. When I click through to the pick list, what we can see is a pick task for 65. Because we only have one pick face associated with the product, it's gone to that pick face. It's an available task. However, what this also has, which I'm going to go into our task grid now, I'm going to refresh this screen. So what we can now see is the intelligence of the order volume replenishment functionality kicking in to know that we need more replenishments in order to fulfill that pick quantity. So what the system has done has replenished all of them, has created the tasks, and as you can see them replenishments all at once. It's actually going to be replenishing the earliest stock as well, which I'll show you in just a second. Once we replenish all of these, and as you can see the pick phase, we'll then be able to complete our pick for 65. Firstly, let me show you what stock it has picked up there. So if I refresh the screen here, what you can see is it's actually correctly picked up the earliest stock as well. So we know this by the ID, the earlier the ID. And as you can see, first into the system, the later means it's the latest. And as you can see, it's picked up the 3 pallets that were the earliest in stock. Okay, so now the replenishment tasks have been generated, I need to go and complete them tasks. So I'm going to use the handheld for this, and where I can now go to my replenishment. I can replenish by location, and then I can enter the location that these replenishments are going to. Click next, and you can see these are the tasks that have been picked up. So 2748, just to double check, is the next one in order to be picked up by the user in the warehouse. I'm going to go ahead and scan the location from, just coming from racking, scan the pallet that we want to replenish and the location to again, and confirm the quantity that we want to replenish. And as you can see, that's completed. I'm going to do this another 2 times for the other 2 replenishment tasks. Okay, perfect. So there, all of the replenishment tasks that have been generated, they've all been completed now. If I go back to my task list, what we can see here is all of these tasks are available. If I go ahead, refresh the screen, these are all now been completed, and my picking task is ready to be picked up as well. So I can go back to my pick list, and as you can scan the storage unit that I'd like to go to. Again, usually people do this by the HHD, but I can go ahead, click complete. So now when I come to the pick list, I can look at the pick task, as I can see here for 65. Usually a user would use HHD scanner at this point to confirm the pick. However, I'm going to do it via the front end. So I want to complete this task. And as you can see, that's now been completed. My dispatch task has been generated. I'm going to go ahead and complete that as well. And from there, if I go to my stock line, I can now see I've got 1 remaining stock line in that pick face with 15 in, with another pallet in racking, ready to be replenished once the next pick task has been generated, if and when we require another pallet in there. So that's order volume replenishment. If you need a hand getting this set up, we have full documentation, or feel free to reach out to our support team who can talk you through this feature.